Welcome back to Wrestling News Update. I'm David Two Dogs Hayes.
And I'm Chris Still Here Barnes. Our top story tonight, AEW reported that tickets for All Out sold out within 15 minutes. Vince McMahon remains unimpressed since it only took him 15 seconds to sell out to Saudi Arabia.
The WWE has agreed to do 2 shows per year in Saudi Arabia for the next decade, but they're open to adding more for every 5 journalists murdered.
During Super Showdown, the wrestlers performed in 90-plus degree heat, which reportedly felt like over 100 degrees to the people in the ring. Reports of rampant flooding were later revealed to be the result of Bobby Lashley forgetting to wear his headband.
After promoting Super Showdown as bringing in numbers equal to or better than WrestleMania, it's been reported that the numbers were actually lower than usual. Some say it's due to the controversy over performing in Saudi Arabia, while others say it's because they were worried the explosions they were seeing weren't actually fireworks.
Many are still bristling over the match between The Undertaker and Goldberg, which has been described as a 9-minute botch with occasional moments of wrestling. Both men were apparently so unhappy with how the match went that they got into a screaming match backstage, which ended with The Undertaker hobbling away on his walker while Goldberg pelted him with heart medication.
After Super Showdown, Lars Sullivan suffered a knee injury during his rematch with Lucha House Party on Raw. As a get-well gift, Chris and I will be sending him a book of Mother Goose nursery rhymes.
Sullivan could be out of action for as long as 9 months, which could be just long enough for him to reverse the gamma radiation and turn himself back to normal.
Nikki Bella has announced that she will be retiring from wrestling after multiple neck injuries and the recent discovery of a cyst on her brain. Doctors say that they could have diagnosed it earlier, but while she was dating John Cena, they couldn't see it.
Sasha Banks recently retweeted the AEW promoting All Out, leading to the speculation that she could soon be leaving the WWE, which has prompted Vince McMahon to take away her Twitter and give that to the Iconics too.
This Sunday's pay-per-view is Stomping Grounds, which will feature Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Bliss has accused Bayley of being superficial and two-faced and has recruited Nikki Cross to her corner by convincing her that Bayley has been saying nasty things about her on Twitter. This is as good a time as any to remind wrestling fans that professional wrestling is, and always has been, mean girls with suplexes.
Seth Rollins will be defending the Universal Championship against Baron Corbin, who has announced that he will be selecting a special referee for the match, presumably a friend who will swing the odds in his favor. Wrestling fans find this to be the WWE's most unbelievable storyline in years, as it expects them to believe that someone could admit to being Baron Corbin's friend.
ESPN has announced that their awards called the ESPYs will now feature a category for Best WWE Moment. Contenders for Best Moment will include Ronda Rousey's becoming Women's Champion, Roman Reigns after returning from his fight with leukemia, and Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. But let's be honest, the way things are going, the award will probably end up at AEW instead.
In other news, Bret Hart will be starring in an upcoming horror film called Tales from the Dead Zone, presumably named for the look in his eyes whenever he hears the name Shawn Michaels.
Charlotte Flair appeared in a recent video promoting summer health tips, which includes drinking water over sugary sodas and eating lots of vegetables. Because if Charlotte Flair knows anything, it's to be careful about what she puts in her body.
She's keeping it all natural. The WWE will also be producing a Netflix original called The Main Event, about an 11-year-old boy who discovers a magical mask and enters a competition to become the next WWE superstar. Rejected titles include If Rey Mysterio Was Taller,
Hey, Charlotte's boobs are older than this kid,
The Marine 7's Special Education,
and Vince McMahon exploits an 11-year-old boy.
Finally, Matt Hardy is testing a new gimmick about how hard it is to be Matt Hardy. This is on the heels of his last failed gimmick. Matt Hardy doesn't understand how hard it is to be around Matt Hardy.
This gimmick is part of an ongoing gimmick called Matt Hardy Hardly Matters.
If this gimmick fails, he'll resort to his final gimmick, Matt Hardy Manages a Hardy's.
Thank you for watching Wrestling News Update. I'm David Hayes.
I'm Chris Barnes.
Be sure to check out the Stomping Ground episode of This Is a Work next week, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. This is David Two Dogs Hayes saying if you got out of bed today and you hated WWE wrestling, you've probably been listening to This Is a Work.